Hello everyone, it is Leo's Fire back again with another video. Today's video is the Loki reaction and review, and just to start off, it's episode 1, it's just started, and I think this is going to be really interesting. It's great, it's got so many questions and little details, and we'll just go through it. We see at the start that it's basically what we see in the trailers. He gets the Tesseract and he disappears. He gets picked up by the TVA and he has no idea. He's basically telling them, who are you people? What are you doing? And he just slowly starts to realise that he goes from thinking that they're basically just pathetic, just no use, just a step in his road to his ascendancy to God King, and that is then he starts thinking it's all an illusion, a elaborate trick or something, a cruel one, I think he says. Then he gets caught up with all the information, who they are from the timekeepers. We get revealed to us there was a multiversal war. We don't know what that multiversal war was. It could have been the Incursions event. Who knows? But it might be that they're going to do the Incursion event. The Battle World event, if you don't know what the Incursion event is when, without spoiling anything, it's the God King Doom one. It's that one. And we get to find out who runs the TVA, which is the Timekeepers, who I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I'm completely right on this, in the comics they're not actually that good. They're very selfish, I'm sure. I'm sure they've done all this to also just protect themselves. I'm not 100% sure on that. And we slowly see the full power of the TVA with the resetting the timelines. They just put down like a grenade kind of thing, and it basically erases that entire timeline and just keeps that parallel timeline in check, and it basically shortens those branches into just basically one big trunk of tree, so there's no actual other branches, the sacred timeline as they say. But it does get revealed to us that basically everybody's lives are basically wrote out for them. Even when Loki goes to the court type room and he says, you want the Avengers here, they clearly done a time travel thing, and he thinks it's because he's God King and he's got all he's want. Then the woman on the court says, no, the what the Avengers did was supposed to happen. So that clears up why the Avengers aren't there, when a lot of people were saying, so why is Captain America, or when they time travelled in Endgame, why are they not there? Because that's been wrote out for them. That's what. So these people have the power, basically are playing God with everyone. They've had a multiversal war. They've basically got out of it somehow and thought, right, we're only having one timeline. We'll write everyone's life as we see fit. Then we'll let it go. We'll let it proceed. They're basically writing a book. But these are real people. It's not fiction. It's in the Marvel universe. These are the people. They have feelings. They are people, and they're basically being used as just objects, telling a story. And it's kind of crazy thinking that everything we've seen has never been any of their characters' choices. They probably thought that, but we find out now that that's just the story that's been written for them. Obviously, in reality, it is just a story. But in the Marvel universe, if we're thinking that type of way, it is kind of crazy. And when he goes through the metal detector type thing, they says, do you know if you're a robot? And he's like, who doesn't know then? Doesn't know if they're a robot. And he asks, what will happen to me if I'm a robot? And the person says that they'll get vaporized. instantly. Then he hesitates, thinking, what if I am a robot? And he goes through it, he's not. Then he gets like some kind of scan photo, and it's showing that he's got like a red kind of aura, and he's like, what is that? And they tell him it's his temporal aura, which I think is maybe like a DNA check, possibly, to see who they are, which variant they are. And we get some teases throughout with the multiverse, and we see Agent Mobius, someone's killing in a church in, I think it was 15 something, and somebody's killing their agents when they're trying to sort out the variants. Any variants time criminals, however you want to speak. And it showed this kid comes in and he asks, who done this? He's basically gaining the kid's trust, speaking in French for him. And he basically asked, who does this? And he pointed, saying, it's him. And it's basically a picture, like a Jesus picture in a church. But it's very demon looking. It looks like a devil. And that's got me thinking maybe that one is Mephisto, or some type of dark dimension or hell dimension of that part of the universe. Who knows? It could just be like, oh, this person's the devil. Like, just saying that they're very bad, and it's kind of like just a metaphor describing characteristic. And it's just crazy because you see that you get to see Loki's full entire timeline from basically the Avengers all the way up to Endgame. And it's like slowly teased. It stops at the end of the Avengers, then he starts going rogue. He's trying to escape with the Tesseract, and he finds out not even the Tesseract is working. He's trying to manipulate someone in to help him get out. He gets the Tesseract back, and with the Tesseract is the rest of the Infinity Stones, multiple of the same Infinity Stones. And it's just crazy. They're all just sitting in like a drawer in a desk. Like they're nothing. And then he starts to realise like these people are really powerful. These people are basically gods. Not gods of mischief or thunder or anything. Actual gods who control everything. Nothing works. He can't use his magic. There were some funny parts in the episode, but I'd rather focus on the story parts. And it's just, so it goes through this kind of mental instability, just slowly throughout the full episode, saying, I have my choice, this is me. And he gets asked, why does he do what he's doing? Because he says, because he's a liberator. Basically, he says freedom is an illusion for the weak people who want to think that they have control of their life. And basically, Agent Mobius keeps on going, and after he finds the Infinity Stones, he goes back where he gets his, I think it's a time displacement kind of thing. It's like basically a fast forward and a rewind. It basically rewinds when he nearly gets caught, when he escapes his neck lock. And from the Avengers moment, he basically fast forwards to see everything in his life, to seeing him die by the hands of Thanos. And he sees his mum and dad dying, which brings him to tears. He sees Thor basically welcoming him in and basically treating him like a brother. And he smiles, but then he sees Thanos gripping him by the throat after he's tried to murder him. And it shows him snapping his neck, which was honestly so brutal when I seen that in the cinema. It was crazy. I thought it was very gory for a Marvel film. And then he starts to realise Thanos is the one who gave him the scepter in the first place for the Avengers, because he basically wants all the Infinity Stones, and he's realising, oh, Thanos killed me. This is not the way I thought my life was going to be. And he's starting to realise everything they're saying, that he doesn't have a choice, is true. Then he starts to like cry and have a breakdown, and Mobius comes in and says, "Why do you do what you do? Who are you?" And he says, "Why do you kill people? Do you enjoy it?" And he probes this throughout the full entire episode. And Loki finally breaks after seeing everything and realising that he's basically nothing compared to these people. He's basically what humans feel to him. That's what he is to the TVA. He'll feel so weak and everything. Then he actually basically corrects himself, saying, "I hurt people because it gives me the illusion, because I'm a weak person. It gives me the illusion of control. The weak-minded." And it's crazy that he actually talks to himself like that. Talks about himself, because Loki would never done that. Even the one from Ragnarok, he still wouldn't have done that. He would have probably just said something sarcastic or something witty, or put it back onto the person asking him. And it's just crazy. And we find out the dangerous time variance that Mobius is chasing. One of them is a version of Loki. And we see at the end this cloaked figure when they're going to see this situation. And it's someone cloaked in a cloaked figure. They come here and they're like, "Look, it doesn't matter. Just let's reset this timeline. Just bugger the time variant character." But then they see a cloaked figure and they're like, "Oh wait, maybe this is him." And I think it's probably maybe the woman version of Loki, and possibly, or it might be like an even more evil one, or even one of them that look like one of the frost giants, possibly. Like that, obviously not that tall, but who knows? It could be anything, any version of Loki we've seen. It might not even be Loki. Because it doesn't seem like it's the biggest one Mobius is going for. So this could be absolutely anyone, if I'm thinking about it now. So it'll be exciting to see. It's already said that there's been a multiversal war. We don't know which multiversal war, because that could take out, if it was Secret Wars, or the Incursion event, or Battle World, all in the same. It would rule out that possible future timeline, or story, should I say, what everyone is wanting in the next 5 years. I do realise Loki's more like his Ragnarok self, and it's revealed in a funny little moment that he was actually D.B. Cooper, who took all that money. But he'd done that because he lost a bet with Thor. Remember, this is when they were younger, and Thor was very kind of war hungry and childish. Just like any kid with that amount of power probably would be, thinking they're all it. He never got humbled at all. And it's crazy the amount of things that could actually come from this episode and the full show. This is just the first episode, and there's already been so many things. So many, and it's just crazy to think this is just the first episode. We're getting 5 more. I think they're all about an hour length. And I'm so excited to finally do something positive and not just have a go at Star Wars, which I don't want to do. But yeah, it's going to be really exciting. Like and subscribe if you like the content, and I'll have another review of the next Loki episode out on Wednesday next week. Right, thanks again. Bye.